Tunisia's Interior Ministry says the suspected assassin of Chokri Belaid has been killed in a shootout with police. Kamel Gadhgadhi is one of 7 men killed in the incident in a seaside suburb of Tunis. Belaid, a key opposition figure, was shot dead in a drive-by shooting a year ago outside his home. We're joined up by Riadh Sidaoui of the Arab Centre for Research and Political Analysis for more on the possible repercussions of this story. Mr. Sidaoui, thank you very much for joining us here on France 24. What effect do you think this incident is going to have now, directly in Tunisia?
Thank you for your question. I think this is a great success for the units of the anti-terrorist police. This is the second victory, blatant police. The first one is in El Wardiya in August 4, 2013. Tunisian police anti-terrorists are very competent and well occupied against urban terrorism. But, and I said, but the problem are the bush and mountains as Shambi that are difficult geographically. And it's the task of the army, which needs time to adapt to this kind of war. The Algerian army, for example, has taken such long years to adapt to this new war. Fortunately, this is our isolated bush and away from urban and tourist areas.
But is this something that's going to happen in Tunisia on a wider basis then? Do you think this will be the shape of how conflict on the streets and a disgruntlement on the streets will be expressed in Tunisia? There'll be more incidents and more strikes like this?
Yes, I know. But I must emphasize that the second lesson learned is that the political will to eradicate terrorism is necessary to have victory against the terrorists. Why? Because the Nahda, the Islamist party, the ex-Islamist party in the power, Nahda has been accused of lax and against Wahhabi and jihadists, either in action or in the discourse. We have terrorist discourse in the mosques and terrorism discourse in the Facebook and Twitter and so on. So 2 reasons explain this position of the Nahda. I think the first one is that the Nahda needs the Salafist as an electoral base. This is very important for us. The second, Nahda wants to present itself as a rising tide moderate Islamist and need to be compared by Ansar al-Sharia. So we are the best Islamists. We are moderate. Choose us, not the terrorists, not the Ansar al-Sharia. So I think another need also Ansar al-Sharia, and every action of Ansar al-Sharia is worked for the interests of another.
Riadh Sidaoui, thank you very much for your analysis here. We appreciate your time on France 24. Thank you, sir. The latest there on the events in Tunisia. Just to remind you, the assassin, suspected assassin of Chokri Belaid, killed in a shootout with police earlier today. Next, barrel bombs continue to be dropped on the Syrian city of Aleppo. This is the 4th straight day of attacks since the Geneva II talks ended inconclusively. Bashar al-Assad's troops have been targeting areas of rebel support. The barrels are packed with metal fragments, capable of widespread killing and destruction when they explode on impact. Laurent Fabius is demanding that Syria keep its promise on the destruction of its chemical weapons. The French foreign minister was reacting to reports Syria had given up just 5% of its deadly arsenal. Russia has promised that its ally will soon deliver more weapons for destruction, but Fabius said Syria needs to keep its own promise.
Le gouvernement syrien freine.
The Syrian government is slowing the destruction of chemical weapons. In the notes that I saw yesterday, only 5% of chemical weapons are leaving Syria, even though we should be at 100% since the 1st of February. It is urgent that Bashar al-Assad's government fulfills its commitments towards the destruction of its chemical weapons. When a government commits itself and commits in front of the international community, it needs to keep to its engagements.
The United Nations says aid for the Central African Republic is an urgent priority. The head of UNICEF has been speaking about the humanitarian crisis in the country following a 4-day visit there last month. It comes as the UN's World Food Programme is warning that it's running out of food to distribute there. Further supplies are due to be flown in from Cameroon. It's estimated 1.3 million people are what's called food insecure. Let's bring in